Squishy Monster, and today we're going to make crostini with balsamic onions and homemade goat cheese. And I know what you're thinking, it sounds really difficult and involved, but actually if you just have some goat's milk and some acid, whether it be lemon or vinegar, that's all you need, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it step by step. Now keep in mind that throughout this process you want everything to be sterilized and clean, so I swiped everything down after disinfecting it. And so on moderate heat, because we want to gently bring this to about 180 to 185, I'm going to tip in my goat's milk and slowly heat it up to that temperature. When it reaches 180 to 185, you want to turn off the heat, and that's what I've done here. And occasionally you do want to stir throughout the process because it'll develop a skin and you don't really want that. You want to turn off the heat and slowly stir in your acid, whether it be your lemon or your vinegar. And you want to, with the heat off, just keep it like this for about 20 minutes and let it set. So after your milk has settled for about 20 minutes or so, you want to line a colander or fine mesh sieve with either thick paper towels or cheesecloth, which is ideal, but I couldn't find any at my grocery store today, and slowly begin pouring in your liquid to collect the curds in the material. And you want to go very slowly, and already you can see the edges forming and it looks like that familiar goat cheese, so just be very patient and slowly pour. This is what my cheese looks like after about an hour and a half, and you want to let it go to up to about 2 hours. And it's already, the consistency of it, the texture of it is a very thick and velvety texture, just like the goat cheese that we're accustomed to buying at the grocery store. But I'm very happy to report that this weighed in about 8 ounces, so that's double the quantity. For the price that it cost me for typically one log, I get 4 ounces for about $4 to $6, and this so far has cost me $3.50, which is fantastic in itself. And so I just relined it with another paper towel because the other ones were getting soggy and soaking wet. And so if you're using the paper towel method instead of the paper cheesecloth, I would recommend doing that. And it has extracted so much liquid from it. I'm going to let this go for 30 more minutes and it should be ready. For your balsamic onions, you want to slick your pan with oil, and just regular cooking oil or olive oil or veggie or canola oil works well here. And you want to toss your onions in it. And I like vidalia for this. I like their natural sweetness paired with that balsamic glaze. And let it go just for a couple minutes just to kind of soften them. And don't forget to salt and pepper, as it'll help draw out that natural moisture in the onions. And at this point, you want to drizzle over your balsamic vinegar and your sugar, just to counteract with the tart bitterness of the vinegar. And you want to stir this together, and you want it to go until the onions have taken on that dark hue and it's bubbly and thick and it's reduced. All I'm doing now is just assembling, and all I did here was just grill off some bread, and at this point you can rub with some garlic or some tomatoes for an extra boost of flavor, but I like it just as is. So to assemble, I'm just taking a little bit of my glazed onions and nestling it on each little bit of bread here. Just drape it on like that, and then take a spoonful of that homemade goat cheese that I let sit in the refrigerator, by the way, while I was doing everything else, and just tuck a little piece on just like that for each one. So these make perfect apps or hors d'oeuvres, and I'm going to finish assembling them and I'll see you guys in a little bit. I can't tell you how excited I am about all this goat cheese I have to play with. I ended up with about 8 ounces for under $4. That's a steal in my book. I'm going to double wrap this one, and I just evenly distribute them between 2 tubes. Pop one into the freezer, double wrapped, and I have found by experimenting with different cheeses that goat cheese in the freezer works for me, but to each his own. And this one I'm going to pop into the refrigerator and eat off of it and snack all week. I'm really excited. But I am just as excited about these crostini. Let's see how they taste. That crostini has a beautiful buttery crunch, and then those glazed sweet onions have still a little bit of a bite to them, just like I like them. They're sweet and they're savory, and they're topped off with this soft and tangy and creamy goat cheese that we made at home. I hope I showed you guys how accessible it is to produce use this in your own home. You can control the quality and the quantity. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me. This is the Squishy Monster, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.
Smile, though your heart is aching. Smile, even though it's breaking. When